non-starter. It was interesting too. I was there. President Trump 2 times invoked getting rid of the filibuster. One for the SAFE Act, the other one for getting rid of sanctuary cities. And I was standing in the Oval Office right behind, right behind Graham. And of course, I'm taller than him. He's not a very big guy.
Right.
And he looked. President Trump looked right at Graham and said, "Yeah, Lindsey, we got to get rid of this filibuster, right?" And Lindsey just shook his head and laughed. But the reality is, if you don't get rid of this ridiculous filibuster they've got going on in there, they're never going to pass any of this stuff.
Yeah, it's the fear of the unknown. I'm ready to see their eject button hit on the filibuster. The Senate would have to do it internally, but I think the fear is Washington D.C. I was listening to your tee up with here regarding the concerns regarding right to work and those details. Well, you will then end up potentially with that in a change in political winds. Washington D.C. will become a state. Puerto Rico will become a state. You will have, a court of the Supreme Court that is stacked because literally simple majorities will be able to change those outcomes. And then are we opening Pandora's box for short-term game? I get it where the Senate is going, but there's so many things that we've got to do to fix this country. And unfortunately, we're never going to get to 60 votes on some of these issues that, like, how do you get to 60 votes on the SAVE Act?
You
And we've
can't.
passed it out of the House twice.
Yeah.
And I don't get why the Senate doesn't see the merits of it, but there's those out there on the Democratic side are just not going to play ball with IDs at the voter booth.
Well, listen, if the cloture rule was something that constitutionally took 60 votes to break, I would be more sympathetic to the Republicans' concerns here. But we both know, Jimmy Patronis, you know, and I know, that if the Democrats took control of the Senate, they would blow that thing up within one day,
They
right?
will.
Because
They will.
Here's the thing that I try to tell people this. They came within 2 votes of blowing it up the last time, and the 2 votes that stopped it, you ready? Kirsten Sinema in Arizona and Joe Manchin in West Virginia.
Neither of which are in the process anymore.
Thank you. They're not there. And Fetterman voted to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So you have no votes. And any new senator that wins is going to get rid of it because that's what they're campaigning on. So you have no ability to stop it. They'll implement it immediately and do all that crazy stuff you mentioned. But to me, the best way to not have that happen is by keeping the majority. And the way you keep the majority is by getting things done and motivating your base.
And having integrity in our elections.
Right?
And having integrity in our elections.
Exactly.